Hello, Pete. Welcome back to another comic books investment chat. I start the chat at 9:40 ish because I want to see how the market react the first 10 minutes. It's gonna be a wacky day. Let's see. Let me see how the market is doing. Looking like a hot opening so far. Let me see. Nothing to complain about, but for those that are looking to trim some long position, today would be a good day to do something like that. Not that I'm telling people what to do with their money. Hello, Maurice. It's funny. The last time I had the chat was it last Wednesday? I'm trying to remember. It was last Wednesday, I believe. I had the chat and I talked about um, watching the pot boys. Uh, you know, I, t- I had that whole talk about that, how a lot of people had been sitting, waiting, predicting, wanting, wishing for a stock market crash or a double dip, and then the market keep going higher and higher, and it has been very frustrating for a lot of negative Nellies. um, to me, it is funny to watch and listen to all the pundits, experts everywhere, whether it's on YouTube or on CNBC or Fox Business. It is funny for me to hear how all the pundits and experts predicting all different things, and as often many are wrong, been wrong for a long time. But let me say this: don't mistake my view right now as if I am bullish on the market. Okay, I'm not. This market is wacky. Just when I had that chat last Wednesday, what happened the next day on Thursday? Yeah, the market dropped 6 point. I think the S&P dropped over 6%. One of the top 25 worst day. Yeah, top 25 worst day in the stock market. Just think about that. The stock market has been open for decades and decades and decades. And what happened last Thursday was in the top 25 worst day. Now, guess what? I'm sure a lot of people that may have disagreed with my view last Wednesday when I had the chat and told people, don't watch the pot boys. It's stop predicting gloom and doom. Stop trying to be a genius on timing everything. I'm sure many of those people, maybe some of those people would be like, see, it happened. It crashed. It crashed. There you go. Here's the beginning. Here's the beginning of a crash. We are seeing a big crash coming. What happened the last 2 days? What happened today? Huh? Yeah. Don't you look stupid or foolish now, right? So just stop it. The reason why I put my thumbnail with Fed Powell, for those that are not familiar with the person in my thumbnail of the video, he is the Fed. He's the head of the Federal Reserve. What happened yesterday that caused the market to reverse? The Fed buying things. Okay, this is one of the things that I don't like. Okay, as much as I am not negative about the market, I don't like this market at all. Don't like it at all. You know why? Because it's not functioning in a logical fashion. I'm trying to find the right word to it. The stock market is not logical. Let's make it very clear. Okay, it's not logical. The stock market, just like the comic book market, function on fear and greed. Absolutely. Just like in any market, it's fear and greed. Okay, let's not paint any other kind of pictures as if like the market need to behave this way or that way. No, the market behave on fear and greed. But what you have right now, more than ever, more than the history of the stock market in the past century. Yeah, I said the word century. Isn't that crazy that the stock market had been around longer than 100 years? Yeah, so odd to think that it's been that long, that in the past 100 years, the Fed has never pumped so much money in this market. So much. It is trillions. It's unheard of, the word. Up until this past few months, how many people even use the word trillions on anything? Yeah, we're talking trillions. We're getting to the double digits, trillions now. Insanity. Hello, Mike Bello, Brad, Chris Young, Good Days Go. Take a look at the here. Maurice is here. Good Days Go. Let's see. Miff Lab Music. Hello. Good morning. Absolutely, Mike Bello. The job market will be significantly different a year from now. Significant, in my opinion, because you have a lot of automation. You have a lot of company that use Zoom, right, successfully in the past 3 months, and find out that, hey, people can work at home. We can function very well at home. We don't need to spend extra money on fancy office space. Heck, even Google is not giving lunch money. They figure Google is like, I think it's Google. I can't remember, one of the company, one of the big tech company. They figured that, hey, people work at home. We don't have to spend millions in feeding them for lunch in the office. Goodbye. Stay at home and eat your own sandwich. Spend your own money. We're saving money in the millions feeding you. Okay, so yeah, it will change. I don't know how much. Um, the problem I have, which I don't want to go deep into, is that the change usually hurt the less educated workforce. Okay, it's one of those things where the great divide in this country for the past many decades, the have and the have not, the college educated and the blue collar. Yeah, it's less and less jobs. Not to say that a college education is worth a heck of a lot these days, but that's a huge problem. And I can go into a rant forever with education and what's wrong with the whole education system. Mike asks, have I noticed a strong upswing for comics in 2017? And my thoughts on the eventual settle or return to pre-2017. The comic market has been on an upswing long before 2017. Okay, it definitely go into the hyper mode. I mean, for those that, I can only guess that Mike Bello has not watched my channel for 7 years. But I talk about how the market went into the hyper mode in 2017, especially 2018. 2018 was insanity. Okay, insanity. Because a lot of book went through the big double and triple, but a lot of books, a lot of keys. Okay, a lot of keys went wacko in 2018. I mean, they start to get hot in 2017 already, but the move in 2018 was breathtaking. breathtaking as far as this hobby. When you see books like Amazing Fantasy 15, Hulk 181 went into the straight up mode, big books that go up 20, 30, 40, 50%, big keys, FF1, X-Men 1, you name it. It was crazy. And sure enough, the market has crashed, right? The market crashed in late 2019. Well, the market crashed late 2018. Let me take that back. Okay, late 2018, around December of 2018 was the first visible crack in the market. As I'm talking, I'm keeping my eyes on the stock market. Look like my portfolio is still heading higher. uh, um, so late 2018 was the first visible crack, and then that crack spread out to a lot more books in 2019. 2019 was a very visible downturn in many big keys, from Amazing Fantasy 15 to Hulk 181, you name it. A lot of big Silver Age and Bronze keys went south in 2019. For those that watched all my market report last year, you saw how the numbers and how the market looked. It was ugly. And then it got uglier earlier this year. From January through March of this year, things got real ugly. Because why? Because of the stock market. The stock market went down 40% ish. Well, guess what? The comic market, the Magic the Gathering game card, you name it, everything was crashing. Okay. We had crashed back to 2018 level in many books. We have returned many of the madness that you see in 2018, and some books have returned to the 2017 level. So it has happened. Okay, this is not news. It might be it might be news to newer collector, but for those that have been in the market for a long time, at least from 2017 through now, you have seen some books, not all of them, some books has returned to 2017 level. So it has happened. Now, if the stock market is not crashing from here, then I don't see many books, many big keys return way back to 2017 or 2016 level. I don't see that coming. Um, it's all for the most part, it's interconnected, it's interrelated. There is a correlation between the financial market to the collectible market. For those that follow um, for those that follow Alpha Investment, that channel, uh, Rudy. I talk about Rudy and his Alpha Investment channel often, um, and he's probably the biggest Magic the Gathering channel on YouTube. I'm guessing he has hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and he put out sometimes 2 or 3 videos a day. He's extremely active. And if you watch his channel the past month or 2 months, guess what? It's just like the comic market. The Magic the Gathering market has returned. It was crashing. Trust me, if you follow his channel like I have for the past few years, between late last year through March of this year, he was very dour on the market, Magic the Gathering market. And guess what? If you watch his last month of video, guess what? Things are ripping higher. So just like the stock market did, it ripped higher and it dragged many collectible with it. Okay. And also part of what drive the collectible market higher is of course not the stock market. Let's make it very clear. Not everybody that collect comic books or Magic the Gathering has heavy investment in the stock market. So if the market went up 35%, does that mean that they have so much more money to go out there and buy comic books? No, I'm not saying that whatsoever. But part of what the market ripping higher is what? The person in the thumbnail, Fed Power. Fed Power has done so many, just not just the Fed, the government with the the $1,200 per adult money and unemployment extension and all. There's a lot of unintended consequences when the government and the Fed is pumping all kind of money into the economy, to trying to prop up the economy. And who knows what that is going to do later. Okay, we all know it's creating a bubble. It's creating a lot of nonsense that we can't make sense of, as far as, oh my god, the baseball card market is blowing up. People are speculating like it is all great out there. Yeah, it's insanity across many markets. So there's a lot of unintended consequences that is going on with the way the government and the Fed is trying to prop up the financial market and the economy. Um, so I don't know. That's what I don't like about the market. I don't like what's going on with the stock market. But at the same time, what did I say last week? The one mantra that I have heard and paid attention to since the 80s is that do not fight the Fed. You can hate the Fed, you can think of the worst thing that can happen because of all kind of artificial bubble, but until the Fed stop, don't try to fight the Fed because you will get hurt beyond what you think you can handle. Because at the end of the day, the Fed has the printing machine to print as much money as he wish, and you only have so much money to be righteous. Okay, you only have so much money to be righteous on your short or negative view. It doesn't pay sometime. It doesn't pay to be right. It doesn't pay to think logically. It pay not to be stubborn and stupid. How blunt can that be, right? Like I said, I don't like what the Fed's doing, but at the same time, if you pay any attention to my channel since February, did I even recommend anyone to short the market? Somebody need to give me some credits. Yeah. you know, it's I have a lot of, you know, investment portfolio manager, people that in the business, colleagues, peer, ex friends, and I hear this on a daily basis. People complaining, emailing me, complaining that the Fed is doing this, the Fed is doing that. Well, yes, the Fed is doing a lot of things. The Fed has been doing a lot of bad things for a long time. There's a reason why there is not a whole lot of professional shorts in the market anymore. If you follow the CNBC back in, you know 1999, 2000, when the tech bubble was blowing up, oh my god, there were so many professional shorts going on CNBC, pumping their chests out, telling people how great they were, that they predicted the dot-com bubble and they're making tons of money shorting tech stocks, blah blah blah. Since that it has become less and less and less, and then by 2008, 2009, 2010, after the Fed realized that, the mistake that they made in 2008 by letting many financial firms fail, and the stock market went into a tailspin and the economy crashing, and we had basically the the Great Recession, as they call it. near depression, what happened in 2008 through 2009, the Fed learned how bad things got. And this time around, they said, no more. We are going to print money. We're going to do all kind of crazy stuff beyond expectation. It is so crazy. It's comical. Okay. That's all I can say. It's funny to me. I'm not frustrated that the market is not crashing, but at the same time, I don't understand those that are so stubborn that think that they can outlast the Fed. You will not. The Fed will crush you. Oh, Dr. Vanchilla is here. Hello. Now, as far as the comic market, as long as people keep buying, I will keep selling. I pull out a bunch of other books. I just shot a video actually last night, a sales preview. It's gonna be a bunch of Silver Age, a lot more Silver Age than in the previous few sales. So there's gonna be some Marvel and DC Silver Age. Yeah. Um, but yeah, this look like there's a 4 or 5 different titles here. So yeah, I will load that video tomorrow, the sales preview, and then we keep on selling. People keep on buying. I will be keep selling. I think I think a lot of people just don't understand the Fed. Okay, well, the average person that has no vast interest in the stock market just wouldn't know who the Fed is. In fact, they wouldn't know the term the Fed. Who's the Fed? Is there some magical person up there that called the Fed? It's long ago when I was in MBA school. I did have a very good economic teacher. A very good economic teacher. He used to work for the Fed in DC. And even though he's really, it's economic 101 and whatever, I can't remember what class it was in my MBA program. Um, we talk a lot about theory and, how the economy work and function. But at the end of the day, one of the things that he reiterate many times is the Fed is keenly aware that we are a consuming economy. People, for this economy to function, we are not an industrial country anymore where our economy is driven by production. Yes, this has been going on for a long time, decades. It's not news. But even in the 90s, when I was in MBA school, it was well known that we are a consuming economy, a service economy. We're not a productive, production related economy. So the Fed is keenly aware that consumer is a major part of the economy and how the Fed manipulate the psychology of the consumer is essential in keeping the economy going. Let me say the word manipulate. The Fed know fear and greed is a huge part of consumption. How people spend money, how people invest, how people buy collectible. Okay, so they want to control the fear. Yes, this has been going on for a long time, to some extent, much more now than ever. Okay, so they don't care. The Fed know 16% unemployment. Now, let me mute that scam call. So the Fed has been engineering psychology of consumer for decades. That's what its job is. It's trying to control the economy through psychology as far as the consumer is doing. If the consumer is scared, hold back, not spending money, bad, very bad. Uh, Dylan. Okay, Dylan have a good question here. Let me see. Let me think. Um, could Jimmy Olsen 134 spike? It could. Okay, I mean DC is going through Warner Brothers and DC is going through some rethinking. Okay, I have never been a fan of the regime that ran DC and Warner Brothers movie studio, the one that continuously f up all the movies, monkey around with the movies, trying to be Marvel, trying to copy the Marvel mindset, trying to be funny. I like the darker DC universe. I like Man of Steel. I said this many times. Man of Steel is one of my favorite all-time superhero movies. I like Marvel movies, but if anyone paid attention to my Marvel movies reviews, most of them are in the 7 to 7.5 grades out of 10. I don't I have I rewatched many Marvel movies? Hell no. One is good enough for me. Some movies, like the first Iron Man, I have watched multiple times. Heck, Blades, I love the first two Blades movie. I watched that a million times. But a lot of the other movie, Ant Man, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, one is good. I'm good with one. Uh, so for me, um, you know, I am all for. Okay, I am looking forward for the Snyder Cut. I hope it show me something that make a like that make a lot more sense than what we got on the big screen. What we got on the big screen is a huge disappointment by any measure for me. Okay, but I want to see how dark side is used properly. I want to see how things look, and if if the Snyder Cut turned out to be a huge success, a buzz among the community and moviegoer, can I see DC swallow its pride and go back and continue the story? Perhaps in some way. What I think is going to happen, my nonsense prediction is that if the Snyder Cut somehow is well received and a fan want that direction, okay, ultimately the Snyder Cut happened because of what? The fan. If the fan show enough demand and support that this is the storyline that we like, this is the direction that we like, we don't need funny one liner like the Marvel movies, we don't need to be all funny and cute. No, we want harsh, dark, gritty, serious. uh can DC continue the story with the Flash movie and do some kind of Crisis on Infinite Earth, or who knows? They can do something with the timeline to somehow change things so that the new Batman. I don't see Ben Affleck coming back. Okay, that's my big disappointment about this whole Snyder Cut. Is this whole thing happened way too late. It drove away Ben Affleck, a great Batman for me, and now I'm not sure how they can do this without having to basically create another Earth where it's going to be a different Batman, right? How do you figure without Ben Affleck in the new universe. All the other characters can return, no doubt. But how do you deal with Batman now that we have a new Batman? I don't know. I don't have the explanation. I look forward to what DC can do. So yeah, I am excited, and I think Jimmy Olsen 134. Jimmy Olsen 134. If you look back at the last 3 years, it has been kind of flat line, right? It has not done a lot. So even paying the current fair market value is slightly higher than what it was 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know. Okay, you know how I feel about speculating with villains, right? I have always said, look at Thanos. We all know how Iron Man 55 went down since the end of the storyline, but Iron Man 55 also went up multiple years because that storyline span over such a decade long kind of storylines. Okay, so can I see Darkseid, Jimmy Olsen 134 doing the same kind of thing? It's possible, okay? But let me say this. Hopefully, if you want to buy a Jimmy Olsen 134, hopefully you are also a fan of Neil Adams. Hopefully you're also a fan of Jack Kirby. Hopefully you're also a fan of the cover. Basically, what I'm saying that is hopefully you are a fan of that book regardless of the potential. Because if I'm wrong, you have the book. You can still enjoy the book. It's not about, gee, I bought the book and it didn't double. It didn't triple. I didn't make any money. So keep in mind that I don't know. I can't see the future. We don't know how the Snyder cut is going to be. There's a whole lot of speculation going on. But ultimately, that book is not uber expensive. It is not. So if you have some money to buy the book, to put in your collection, if it turned out to be a home run, because somehow the Darkseid story is going to come back to life and it's going to be another 5, 6, 10 movies about this whole storylines. Yeah, if not, you have an awesome book. Make sense? Uh, I am more interested in the new Catwoman. Yeah, I'm curious to see. Like I said, I don't have any problem with the new Batman. I don't have the new any. I'm a fan of comic books, but I am also a fan of the company doing whatever they want to do, however they feel it fit their needs. I am not a fan that give a damn about what other fans think. Okay, let me make it very clear. One of my biggest annoyances is fans complaining about, oh, Marvel is changing this, Marvel is changing that. Guess what? Marvel and DC, it's their stuff. Okay, if they own the right to the characters, they can do whatever they wish to do. You have the right to not like it. Okay, there's nothing wrong with not liking something, but that's the big difference from expressing opinion as if somehow what they do violates something. It violates nothing. Put your panties back on. Okay, it's not. Grown men whining about Marvel or DC changing the characters, nonsense. It's not yours. It's there. Make it very clear. It's there to do whatever they please with it. And they can F it up. And they have. Especially DC. They have F it up big time. They have themselves to blame. Okay, so for me, I don't really care. I'm always interested in, whatever take they want. I don't care if they had to stick to the same origin as the book. Who cares? Who cares? Okay. The people that complain the most about how movies change the origin are the biggest hypocrites. Yes, I'm saying it right now out loud. Biggest hypocrites. You know why? Because just about everything that Marvel put on the big screen has revised history. So don't tell me that you hate this particular change because it's alter history, it's a revision to the history, but then you like the other 99% that they change. You don't get to pick and choose what you don't like. Okay, it's Marvel get to pick and choose whatever they want to do. It's their properties. Big flashing news. I'm looking at the time, 10:18. Okay, so I got roughly 20 minutes to go. Yip yapping. I might end it in about 10 minutes, 10:30-ish. Ooh, look at the market. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Heading higher. Daddy need to look at things to trim. Gotta took some money off the table, right? Yeah. What is it that I can cash? Took a little cash off the table to book some profit. That's the thing. This environment that we have in the stock market is certainly good for those that like to trade. Okay, because the market is so crazy. Down 6% last Thursday, up 1 or 2% yesterday, up 2 or 3% today. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. Okay, there's nothing other than to say that it is insane. It does not behave in any sensible, logical manners, but it is a good environment to trade. I'm glad I bought some Micron stock yesterday because let's see what did I do. I bought some Micron yesterday at what price did I pay for? I'm looking what Micron is doing today. Oh, wait. I bought some Micron yesterday around 49-ish. Right now, it's 51, almost 52. Pardon me as I put in my sell order to book in the profit. uh, Thank you, Chris Young. It's I see this all the time. I see this, on YouTube, especially a lot of channels, a lot of experts out there that, grinding their teeth, screaming, yelling, Marvel and DC changing this and changing that. When it works, nobody say anything, right? When they alter something, people seem to be okay. But when they alter something and the movie fail for whatever reason, then they are so stupid. They should have not changed this. They should not have altered that. That's why it fails. No, it fails because it was stupid and a bad movie. Okay, it has nothing to do with because they change. They can change it, but if it was a good story and good acting, it will be okay. Heck, you don't even need good acting. The way Marvel fanboys has been watching movies, you call all those good acting? Let's get real here. Hello, Jerome, Jerome. What is that? My eye is so Cerrone Games. AT&T is selling off Warner's game. That's news for me. Certainly, I'm not paying attention to the news. But they need cash. Okay, Warner Brother is not deep in pocket. See, Disney, you gotta understand, Disney is deep with cash. Okay, Disney does not need to go out there and borrow other people's money to make movies. Let's make it very clear. Fox did. If you pay attention to Warner Brothers movie, to Fox movies, you notice at the beginning of the movies, there's a whole bunch of other companies that they show credits for. Just do that. Next time you watch a Fox movie, like the old X-Men movies or the whatever from Fox, you notice a bunch of other companies that show up in the very beginning of the credits. Those are the investors, okay? And Warner Brothers are the same thing. They don't have deep pockets, okay? They don't get to play like Disney can. So that's the problem. When you don't have the kind of deep pockets and your movie is not a huge success, you don't have a lot of funds to play with. Who knows what's going to happen with the TV and streaming division. The biggest feather in the cap for Warner Brother is what? Can anybody tell me? If you pay attention to what Warner Brother owns, HBO. Okay, HBO is the biggest profit center for Warner Brothers. Not publishing comic books, not DCEU movies, not streaming DC TV series. Okay, none of that. Even Warner Brothers game, none of that is anywhere near as profitable as Game of Thrones, HBO, and all of that. That is the big cash cow for them. It's shocking to me how poorly they have. It's shocking to me that they couldn't just include all of that good stuff into HBO and start, the whole Warner Brothers streaming things. And it's just like, why bother? Does Disney had to have Disney? Luckily, already own part of Hulu, right? So they can throw a lot of the adult stuff from Fox that they bought into Hulu. But then, they can keep PG or PG-13 for the Disney Plus stuff. Hello, Double X. Hello, John Valenzuela from California. Off to work. Oh yeah, I can see. I can see why you're off to work. It is 7:30 California time. Killen Dylan said you are about to break 5K subs. We'll see, my friend. We'll see. There might be some kind of prize giveaway. Some kind of prize giveaway if I ever get to that 5K things. I think the last time, did I give away something for 4K? Yes, I did. I gave away I think I gave away my Captain America 113. I think. I don't remember. Was that the reason why I gave it away, or is that other reason? I gave away a lot of stuff over the past 7 years on YouTube. I don't remember why I gave away certain things. I don't know if I even have some kind of giveaway. I may have a Q&A series for my 4,000 subs and then give away something. I don't remember. But if and when I crack the 5K subs, sure, I will do some kind of giveaway. And practically I have been giving away monthly in the past year now with my Price is Right game. I probably gave away over $100 in cash. To me, that's always the best thing because at the end of the day, I don't know what people like. I don't know what people want. So it's hard to like give away a book, right? That somebody would care, right? It's not everybody like the same thing. And sure, if I give away something, it might be like a $50 book, but it does not mean that everybody care to have that $50 book. So there be something. And if I don't get there, that's fine too. I'm not even, sure. I would be lying to say that I don't notice the sub count. It's there every day when I go on YouTube and load a video. I see the sub number. So I'm not going to be one of those who say, I have no idea what kind of sub I have. Police. You see it. You don't have to care about it, but we all see it. Okay. I see it and it's not much. And to be honest, for those that are in the chat room right now, if you follow my channel long enough and if you pay any attention to the videos, I said this many times to many people, my subs are really, for the most part, not comic related. Yes, let me repeat that. My subs are not predominantly comic viewers. Okay, if you go back last month, 6 months ago, you name it, you name it. Another YouTuber with half the sub, okay, can put out a comic haul videos and would get 3 times more views in his haul videos than my haul videos, because a lot of people that subscribe to my channel don't really watch many of my comic related videos. They don't. I'm blessed that a lot of people, the minority of my subscriber are hardcore comic fans for the most part. There are always newer people, but just look at, my sales video. I talked about this to Patrick Luther Manning because he has some interest and curiosity about maybe selling his stuff on YouTube. And he talked about, oh, you got 4 times more subs than me, blah blah blah. I'm like, what does that have anything to do with how I sell or buy things? Look at your CGC haul videos. They probably have 700, 1,000, or whatever thousands of views. Look at my CGC haul videos or comic hauls video, 400, 500 views, barely anything. So what does it say about my thousands of subscribers compared to your 1,000? Huge difference. A lot of people that watch my channels, if you pay attention to, I think the way YouTube does it is it show like my top 20 most popular videos. More than half of those videos are TV shows and movies reviews. It's not. Um, it's weird. I don't, like I said, I have no control over who watch what. I just do what I do, and it's okay. Like I said, I don't care. Like I said, uh, the majority of, but just look at, like I said, the last sales video. The last sales video I told Patrick, I literally had 260 views on my preview. On my preview video, I have 260 views. And then on my sales video, by the time there was 150 views, all the books were sold. Okay, so I told Patrick, if you want to sell something on YouTube, give it a try. It has nothing to do with how many views or subs you have. It's more about who subs and what you have. And ultimately, it's the price. Price move things. Okay. You can put great books out there, put in some crazy high prices, and guess what? Nothing will move. It's price. At the end of the day, price move things. If you price something cheap, if you price something reasonably, it will go. Don't look at sub count as some kind of benchmark as to like how successful anyone can be on YouTube. For sure, not me. Okay, other YouTube channels that are predominantly, comic channels. Yeah, but for me, my channel is very unique. Okay, I do food, I do cooking, I do stock market talk, it's all kind of stuff here for all kind of. There's people that probably just watch my movies and TV shows review and skip the rest. Many does. Double X asked, okay, I'm looking at the clock. It's 10:32, so most likely I will be gone. I'll be gone within the next 10 minutes. Is there a severe second wave coming? I fear, yes. I do fear that a second wave is coming. We will find out. We will find out in the next few weeks. I was talking to my wife last night, and I told her, don't bank on my son Anthony to go back to school in August. School down here start mid-August, because I told her, if we have a second wave kicking in within the next week or two because of all the riots and all the we already see the statistic that all the states that reopen have a spike in infected people, right? So it's there, but that spike hopefully doesn't go real high. If that spike go much higher than what we have seen in the past week, it's going to be trouble. Okay, I think that might be something that the stock market might have a harder time digesting um, than what we have so far. Does that mean that the market is going to crash next week? I don't know. You know why? Back to that thumbnails on this video. The Fed. The Fed is doing crazy stuff, printing money, buying assets, buying bonds. I mean, the Fed came out last Friday, and announced they are literally buying individual corporate bonds. Forget about buying treasuries to prop up the treasury market. They're buying corporate bonds now. For all I know, they are out there buying the SPY, the S&P 500. They're doing crazy stuff. It's insane. It's insane. But it's also killing the shorts. Okay, unless you are quick and nimble. If you short the market before last Wednesday and the market crashed Thursday, hopefully you're smart enough and quick enough to cover your short and book some profit instead of sitting there saying, I knew it. I knew I was right. I knew the market is crashing. Here comes the big crash. And then guess what happened Friday and yesterday and today? That's what happened. The Fed give you the smackdown, and all of your paper gain from your short last Wednesday evaporated. Okay, so this is not the time to be righteous. Okay, the stock market is not about being righteous. Okay, it's about being flexible, be able to take what the market give. Before I go, I want to bring out a common saying that I know I have been talking about with many people for years now. You trade the market you have. You don't trade the market you want. Okay, that's the thing. Let me repeat that common saying for portfolio and traders and stock people. You trade the market you have. You don't trade the market you want. What that's saying is telling everyone that don't wish for something. Okay, the market is the market. You trade, you take the opportunities that are out there. You capitalize on the opportunities that are out there. You don't wish for a crash so that you can buy cheaper. Okay, same thing with the comic market. How many times did you hear me talk about that here on my channel? Don't wish for something, because often the same people that wish for a crash are the least affordable to buy something when it does happen. Okay, I have yet to see or know anyone that say, I was wishing for Amazing Fantasy 15 to crash 40% so I can buy. I didn't hear those same people telling me that they bought a copy. So don't wish for a market to trade. You trade what the market is. Okay, it is what it is, and you try to be nimble. You're trying to be sensible in your direction. You try not to be too greedy, and you try not to panic. Okay, it's all of those psychology things that make a market work. And the more you adapt your psyche to how the market behave, the better off you are as a investor in both the comic market and the stock market. You just can't be too emotional. Okay, you can't have the FOMO. the FOMO is so bad. Okay, FOMO. Why would anyone pay $52 right now for Micron technology? Why didn't you buy Micron when it was 46 to 48 or 49 a couple days ago, right? Back then it was so scary. The market was crashing. Ah! Anyhow, just before I go, hello, Omega Comics. Beijing, from what I am hearing, is being hit on a hard second wave. Yes, I just saw a video on YouTube yesterday how they have the lockdown again in Beijing, and they claim that the virus is from foreigner that bring the virus back into China. Yeah, really. The science can tell the location where the virus came from now. If that was the case, would they release information to show that the virus came from China instead of like blaming everybody else that the virus didn't came from? This is nonsense. Okay, listen to Chinese government propaganda is like cringeworthy. I mean, I do listen to know what's going on, but at the same time, I listen with very skeptical ears because it's so stupid that I hope the average person wake the F up and not buy into what the Chinese government says about anything. Surround games, yes. The one thing that will crush the shorts, okay, this is one thing that I've been advising a lot of people about the market is that I don't like the market. Make it very clear, I don't like the market, but I'm not shorting the market because the Fed has unlimited power to print money and to buy up, to prop up the market. Unlimited. I don't care what the unintended consequence is. Okay, a lot of pundits and experts talk about, oh my God, this is going to create so many problems down the road. Guess what? We don't know. So that's one. Number two is the medicine. I mean, I don't know. We don't know about the vaccine or the medicine. What if a medicine come out that can even have like 80%, not even we don't need 100%. There's no such thing as a medicine that will, work 100% of the time. If something show 75%, 80% effective, this market will rip the remaining flesh off the short face. Let me say that, okay? If I'm wrong, I'll be the first to come back here and say that, boy, was I wrong? But we have a vaccine and the market is down 30%. I'll be the first to come out here and announce that I was way wrong. But let me say this. If we have a vaccine or a drug that is 75% to 80% effective, whatever remaining flesh on the short face will be ripped off, okay? So don't be stubborn with your shorts. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't ever short. There's a lot of good people that know how to short the market and be nimble and cover their shorts as often as they need to, because the market do go up and down if it moves. Okay, so there are spots for the good traders to short the market. I'm not good. I can't short the market. I'm not nimble enough, and I'm just not very good at shorting, so I don't short. I'd rather put my money in cash and buy things on the dip, sell on the rip. It's that simple. That's how I play this game. And that's it, folks. It's 1 hour. My 1 hour is up. Time for me to get back to work. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And as always, I'm recording this right now, so I will upload the audio to Podbean for those that want to listen to the podcast later. Thanks for watching. Peace.